Have you noticed how much negativity there is in the world right now? And how, if you're not really careful, it can start to weigh on you and affect your own attitude? Well, I have. And something happened about a week ago that really made me think and kind of step back and consider, how can I get rid of this negativity that I sense and I feel, because I just don't think it's good for me. I want to be have a positive experience in my life no matter what's going on around me, because I can't control other people. I can't control the political environment. I can't control some things that happen. So I have basically been off of Facebook for 6 or 7 months. Maybe 8, but every once in a while I still look at it because I've had the app on my phone because certain websites' logins were associated with Facebook. Instagram, I completely got rid of, and I missed it for a little while, but then I don't miss it. I had no feeling that I wanted to download the app and look and see what was happening. It just kind of floated away from my life. So every once in a while, maybe every couple of weeks, I would go in and just check Facebook to see if anybody in my family had made a post that I wanted to see, or the church group that we have where they announce things and people ask for help, if anything was going on with that I should see. I just kind of scrolled a little bit and I ran right into this absolutely awful, negative, hateful post that someone made that I know. I'm not going to say whether it's a male or female. Somebody that I know and I had respected and I had thought was a very nice person, had just railed and said the most atrocious, terrible thing about people that he doesn't agree with politically. And it doesn't matter if they are conservative or liberal for this discussion. It doesn't matter at all. What mattered was the level of hate that was coming out of this person. And I thought, they have just said that a good deal of the people they know are terrible, awful, atrocious people. And I was just filled with sadness that they had done this, and then wondering, do you not even care about the people around you? But I just kept thinking about it, and I realized that post had lowered my estimation of them so much, and I was uncomfortable with that, and I realized, I wish I had never seen that I just continued to have my former opinion of them. And I had seen someone else in our neighborhood do the same kind of thing a couple of months ago. And ever since then, whenever I see them, I have the same feeling and this wish that I had never seen it, because they were somebody I thought so much of. So I've begun to pray and ask God to help me that this feeling and this memory will go away and I can return back to feeling really good about them. So I made a decision, which was difficult to make because I was on Facebook since the very beginning, that I am going to completely delete my account and delete my Instagram account, even though I've enjoyed seeing what's going on with some of my family members and some of the kids that I like from high school. I don't value that enough to keep Facebook in my life. So I'm in the process of downloading all the information that I want to keep. I've gone through and I've changed all the logins that used Facebook. I unconnected those apps, and as soon as my download has come down, I'm deleting it. I'm deleting my account and I'm deleting my Instagram account and then I won't have the temptation to go back. I feel really good about that. Another thing that I'm doing is that I am going to donate some of my favorite DVDs because they are actually quite violent. And I have really enjoyed The Avengers. I have enjoyed The Closer, Major Crimes, and there are just some that are in that, the adventure, the exciting adventure. And the more I work on being positive and calm, the less I'm wanting to watch those things, because they do have that violence and they actually show the murders and everything. And so I'm going to go through and declutter all my DVDs over here and get rid of those type of things. But I'm still going to keep, I like mysteries a lot. So I like Poirot. There is a show on CBS called Elizabeth, or else there's Monk, where you know that there's a murder, but they don't show it to you. They just spend the time solving it. They are just about characters and the interesting lead characters and how they all relate. And so I find that really interesting. It would be like Murder, She Wrote or something, or like Matlock. I can enjoy those things without seeing all this heavy violence. So that's one way I'm getting rid of negativity in my life. I am hiding negative, rude people from my channel. I've been doing that all along. YouTube gives creators the ability to hide people from their channel. So that means that if someone comes along and they are truly, truly rude, and I'm not talking about disagreeing with me or thinking I should do something another way. I'm talking about those people that are truly harsh, truly rude. Anybody would agree that they are rude. And so I can hide them from the channel. They can still see my videos and see their comments, which is helpful so they don't go off and cause you a lot of problems. When I hide them from the channel, that means that I don't see their comments and you don't see their comments. I consider my channel my home. If you came in and were rude to me, extremely rude to me in my home, I would make you leave. I wouldn't sit and take it because of some free speech thing, which these rude people feel like they have the entitlement to be extremely rude. Free speech. But no, you don't have to put up with it. And there are a lot of people that are creators that talk about these people, and then those things exist on their channel. And what I have found is if I let one person stay on that thread, then other people who have that tendency will come out. So if I hide them, then the comments stay good and supportive, and I get good advice from kind people who sometimes I don't agree with advice, but they mean well and they are polite. So that is the kind of mood and environment I want on my channel, so that you all feel free to comment, and knowing that if I see anyone who's rude to you, I will do the same thing. I will hide them from the channel because we just don't need that negativity. I have been decluttering things, but I'm going to go through and declutter even more things that make me feel anxious, guilty, or I just don't like. I am going to work to surround myself with positivity, with media, people, books, activities, YouTube videos. Really make certain that I'm only doing that. And I'm not talking about cutting myself off from the world and not know what's going on, but there is a way for me to find out what's going on and issues that I care about, with not getting involved with people who really go after it in a negative way. Another thing you can do is to open up the windows and let the fresh air in, because homes get kind of stuffy and stale, and that can kind of drag you down. But to get that fresh air and the fresh oxygen kind of lifts you up. A second part of that is to go outside. Even if you're just going out for 5 or 10 or 15 minutes, having that sun on your face, to be around nature is good for you. And I've realized I've really kept myself too much in my home. I do go to church. My husband and I go out on Friday nights. Every once in a while I go to a store, but Other than that, I've really been staying home, and I need to get out more. Of course, I always do my spiritual work, and this is something I'm really consistent about. It helps me be calm and more uplifted, and if you're feeling that calm and everything, it comes from this. So I always meditate, and I use that app I've told you about. I got distracted and forgot to tell you the most important things I do. I pray, and I read scriptures. My life wouldn't be the same without that. Okay, back to the video. And then do fun things. If I'm not doing fun things, then I'm keeping myself in a, you have to do this. The negativity builds up inside you. So I'm going to really make a concerted effort to do fun things. Speak kindly to myself. I've had so many of you say to me, quit beating up on yourself. Quit beating up on yourself. That's really good advice. And I need to be more careful and listen to myself in that when I hear negativity come out, I need to stop and say something positive. And like, I'm not talking about being all heady, because you can so easily amp that up and to be kind of narcissistic. I'm just talking about accepting myself, that I am a good person. It's all right. You made the mistake. You can learn from it. You go on. This is not you as a person, that kind of thing. So thank you for your advice, and I'm really going to work to take it. Close down my devices earlier. I have to admit that too many times, most nights, I'm looking on my devices, even up to bed, and that blue light affects your sleep. And I've heard people say, leave your devices in another room. And I'm going to put both of my phones, I have two phones because of the camera backup. I'm going to put them both in my bathroom. Listen to uplifting music when I'm doing things around. That always makes me feel more positive. And then when I have these people that are negative in my life, or I've seen them do something negative, I'm going to pray to be able to forgive them, ask God to help me to revert back to remembering how they were. But if they're, I don't have to hang out with them. So that's my plan for doing that. Do you have any other ideas of things I should consider? Do you relate to any of this? One of the things I talked about is that I don't go outside enough. So I've decided I am going to have a little bit of a fun day for myself, and I'll show you how that turns out. Right now, I'm going to go get me something to eat. See you in the car.
If you ever need me, baby, just call me. I'll waste no time, love, I'll come straight to you. All the river's wide, dear, and the road is muddy. Even if I gotta swim there, I'll be there soon. I love you like a garden underneath the rainfall, cooling off a heat wave.
I just dropped off the donations. It is so beautiful today. It's 64 degrees. And I wish I could show this to you in a way that you'd understand. We live in Utah County, and there are great big mountains, the Wasatch Front, and they're really close to you. And today is a blue sky day with just little wispy clouds, and then you have the big Wasatch Mountains towering over you, and they've got snow all over them. So you have nice weather, snow on the mountains, and a beautiful blue sky, warm enough that just wearing my corduroy shirt is good enough. And it just makes me feel so glorious to be alive. I need to do this more often. I'm going to go to the thrift store. And when I went through my money, I found out that I really haven't spent very much in the thrift store in a long time. And I think it's because the only time I let myself go inside is when I've just brought a donation. And then I'm really picky about what I get now. I just am looking for certain kinds of things. And if I don't find those things, I don't buy anything. I used to go in the thrift store and just buy because it was cheap, and I don't do that anymore. I found a few things at the thrift store that I've been looking for, and one is this book, Make a Mix. This was a big thing the first few decades of our marriage, and I had a handout from church, and then I threw it away, and boy, have I regretted it. And I'm glad to get the original book. And then I bought me 3 movies that I actually really like. The Blind Side, Mrs. Doubtfire, West Side Story, the original one with Natalie Wood. So I love musicals. I love musicals. My dad taught me to love musicals. He loved them so much. We'd watch them on TV, and then he'd go around whistling all the music for at least 2 weeks. And one of the pieces of music we loved, one of the musicals we loved is The Music Man. And we had quite a few albums, but we listened to them so much that we scratched the records all up. I actually inherited those from my mom, but they are in really bad shape, don't work. So I always look when I go to the thrift store to see if by some luck I can find one of the musicals, and I did today, and it's in perfect shape. It makes me wonder if anybody ever listened to it. Oh, I love Trader Joe's. I don't know what it'd be like to do my regular shopping there, but there are certain things I just love. So I got 3 bottles of my low sugar raspberry jam, which I just love, love, love. Then I got 2 packages of the Turkish apricots, which are so nice and soft. They're dried, but they're really soft, and they're good for the regularity. I got the orange chicken, which is good, really good. We're going to have that for dinner. And Kung Pao chicken. And then I got a bunch of bowls, of different variety of bowls. I'm going to hide in the freezer. I've been having so much trouble making myself eat 3 times a day, which is not good for me. And I got a tulip. Get that for $2.99. And then I got, oh, this smells so good to me. It almost makes me heady. I love the way it smells so much, but a great big thing of basil like that. It's $2.99. I got me 2 packages of the hummus. It's 3 different flavors together that go together really well, and I adore it. And then I got a really interesting salad mix that was like chili and mango with, all the greens. And so we'll have that tonight for dinner with the orange chicken. And then I got us some pizzas. They have a large family-sized cheese pizza that we like. And then they have really good barbecue chicken pizza. I think that's all. It was interesting. You could only buy 1 package of eggs there, a dozen of eggs for $4.99. We get our eggs either at Walmart or Costco, so we can get the big 60 pack. Somebody over here, it's an employee messing around with the baskets. So, because we have 7 people in the house, and so we go through eggs rather quickly. Oh, I got these. They're like these cinnamon candies. I really like them. They don't have any of the red dyes. They're dyed with like natural fruit. And they have just cane sugar in them. And they're made with coconut oil. So all the ingredients are really good. And they are much, much, much better than Cinnamon Bear. So I like to get those when I come down there. Both girls at the checkout counter said, "You doing anything fun?" And I said, "Well, coming down to Trader Joe's is fun for me."
Oh, the river's wide, dear, and the road is muddy. Even if I gotta swim there, I'll be there soon.